बात हुई वगैरह कि अभी लेके ही आ रहे हैं, अभी तक आया नहीं है।
आ जाएगा। आइए आइए। अब कितना टाइम लगेगा? Good evening to all of you. May I request Dr. Adhish Agrawala, President SCBA, to kindly escort Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose, the Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. R. Venkat Ramani, Learned, Attorney General for India, to the dais. Welcome. May I request Mr. Amarendra Singh to present a sapling to Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Honorable the Chief Justice of India. May I request Mr. Upendra Misra to present a sapling to Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose, Judge Supreme Court of India. May I request Mr. Kumar Gaurav to present a sapling to Mr. R. Venkat Ramani, Learned Attorney General for India. May I request Mr. Bibhu Shankar Misra to present a sapling to Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India. I welcome Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose, Judge Supreme Court of India, and his family members, other Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of India, Mr. R. Venkat Ramani, Learned Attorney General for India, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, Mr. Vikramjit Mukherjee, ASG, Ms. Priya Hingorani, Mr. Pradeep Rai, Ms. Rachana Srivastava, Mr. Jaideep Gupta, Mr. Jayant Bhushan, Mr. Siu Singh, Piyush Kanti Roy sir, Mr. Ranjit Thomas, Mr. Jaideep Gupta ji, Mr. Rahul Kaushik, Mr. Nikhil Jain, Mr. Manoj Misra, President ISKORA, Mr. Sanaisis Mukherjee, Vice President ISKORA, Mr. Atul Koreherkar, Learned Secretary General, Mr. Mahesh Patankar, and other registrars, senior members, and members of the bar. Today we have gathered here to bid farewell Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose. It is my privilege to welcome your Lordship. Justice Bose said, I see a great future in legal profession in this country, and as the bar of apex court, you have to play a stellar role in that. Lordship, as a Secretary of Supreme Court Bar Association, ensure that I personally and whole Supreme Court Bar Association shall endeavor in that role. Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose was born 11th April 1959 in Kolkata, West Bengal. Lordship is an alumnus of St. Lawrence High School, Kolkata, did his BCom from St. Xavier College, Kolkata, and then his LLB from Surendranath Law College, Sialda, Kolkata. He enrolled as an advocate with the Bar Council of West Bengal in the year 1985, and your Lordship practiced mainly in the original and appellate side of the Calcutta High Court in constitutional and the civil matters, with special emphasis on intellectual property law cases. After a tenure of 19 years practicing as an advocate in the Calcutta High Court, Lordship was elevated as permanent judge in Calcutta High Court in 2004 and continued to serve in the interest of justice. Lordship was then appointed as the Chief Justice of Jharkhand High Court on 11th of August 2018, and then the Judge of the Supreme Court of India on 24th of May 2019. Lordship has authored more than 55 judgments and has been a part of more than 63 benches. Some of the famous cases which has been dealt by Lordship: Animal Welfare Board versus Union of India, which was concerned was challenging the practice of Jallikattu; Joseph Sain versus Union of India; Anu Barnwal versus Union of India; Common Cause versus Union of India, and many such cases. With this, may I request Mr. Sukumar Parjoshi, Vice President SCBA, to deliver his welcome address.
Good afternoon. Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, Honorable Justice Aniruddha Bose, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Judges who have come here today to be part of the farewell function, Learned Attorney General for India, Sir R. Venkat Ramani, Sri Tushar Mehta ji, Solicitor General of India, and other dignitaries. I do not want to repeat because Rohit has taken everybody else's name, Pradeep and everybody. I, on behalf of the Executive Committee of SCBA, extend a warm welcome to all of you who have gathered here to bid farewell to a legal luminary in the world of justice, Justice Aniruddha Bose. Will you please give a warm round of applause for Justice Aniruddha Bose? Justice Bose is a stalwart and who has left his indelible mark in the legal landscape of the country. Justice Aniruddha Bose, because of his commitment to the fairness and the principles of law, has not only been a part playing for creating precedents, Okay. Justice Bose, in fact, has been a champion of societal and reforms. Sir, it is indeed a coincidence and a great coincidence that the reformer of our era, in fact, in our age, Justice Chandrachud, in fact, sitting by your side, sir, I think Justice Aniruddha Bose has also, in his judicial philosophy, stood committed to the reforms and societal changes which should be remembered, and that has contributed significantly to the advancement of human rights, social justice, and the rule of law in our country. As Justice Bose bids his adieu to the Supreme Court, his legacy, I am sure, will endure as an inspiration to the future generation and the legal fraternity in general. His contributions to the cause of justice will be remembered with gratitude and reverence. Sir, your absence will be keenly felt by all of us in the court. On behalf of the legal fraternity, and not only the legal fraternity, from the citizens of the country, because of your contribution to the societal reforms, I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude for your exemplary service to the judiciary and the people of India. Sir, as you embark on your new endeavor, as a champion of the cause of justice, you continue with the same passion to contribute to the society and the nation. Sir, we bid you farewell, and we will be always grateful to the principles you upheld and continue to guide us in our pursuit and more just and equitable society. Sir, I know you love to be a peaceful human being and live with happiness. We wish you all the best, sir. Have a good health, and sir, live peacefully ever after. After this, sir, humdrums of the courts, you have contributed enough. You will keep contributing, sir. We will be always grateful to you, sir, for your service and guidance. And as a bar, sir, whenever we went to your chamber, sir, you were so warm, and in fact, Rohit has already said, sir, always you had a word of advice to us, and which we have followed, sir, thoroughly, and we enjoyed being with you, sir, throughout. Thank you. Please give a warm round of applause to us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. R. Venkat Ramani, Learned Attorney General for India, to kindly deliver his address.
Honorable the Chief Justice, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, my dear brother Tushar Mehta ji, ladies and gentlemen. To write a précis about a judge who has spent long years of life is a difficult task. And as we grow older, we are not that good in précis writing. But I suppose occasions like this call for more than mere intellect, but something, a marriage of mind and heart. Soft and gentle on the bench, with a never-fading smile, but sure and certain about what needs to be done in the interaction with the bar, almost in quiet murmurs, never unsettling counsel, but traveling along with them and prompting the best in counsel. These are few words of my understanding, Honorable Justice Aniruddha Bose. The best in the council comes out in the course of the highest level of intellectual engagement, and not always making them tongue-tied. Even in some recent cases where I couldn't punch my points beyond a stage, I never felt I was disabled. I suppose the bar always looks for the opposite of being disabled, and you're one among them that would never made us feel disabled. Regardless of the fact that the Supreme Court sits in benches of 2 or 3 and are demanded by the Article 145(3) of the Constitution, the court sits with a strength beyond 5 honorable judges. The court is still an indivisible court. I say so in the sense that for the purpose of Article 141, all judgments of the court carry the same weight. It must therefore be taken to mean that the judgment of a bench of 2 or 3 honorable judges means the conjoint view of all the honorable judges composing the bench. So it is we say that a judgment in such and such a case, which comprises of such and such judges, means that all honorable judges have contributed to and are equal partners in the ultimate product, namely the judgment. So when you look at the 5 important judgments of Constitution benches in the year 2020, wherein Justice Aniruddha Bose was a member, we are looking at a range of constitutional interpretations dealt with by these benches. I had the opportunity of appearing at least before 3 such benches, and I can verily recollect the gentle but incisive questions put to me by Honorable Justice Aniruddha Bose. The judgments in state of Punjab, Mr. Devinder Singh, which referred E.V. Chinnaya judgment to a large bench, and the judgment in Shebrulu from Andhra Pradesh, a matter related to the reservation of all teaching posts in favor of scheduled tribes, are now an important part of the Articles 14 and 16 jurisprudence of our country. If I'm not wrong in using the expression, all judges of the Supreme Court, I think, undergo constitutional experiences. In the sense, every law is seen from the expanding horizons of the Constitution. I think that's how what is seen as a mundane matter gets their light from constitutional experiences. This must have been one of the reasons why, in Chameli Devi's case, not a very well-known case, which related to a motor accident compensation to the family of a carpenter who died in an accident, to ask the question as to the unjust element in requiring such a family to offer evidence in support of quantum of income. I think this is the common law of the Supreme Court by which these very fine areas of appreciating the needs of justice or understanding many invisible dimensions of injustice which call for a deep appreciation. As I can see, the width of opinions rendered by Justice Aniruddha Bose, a good percentage of them relate to criminal matters. The balancing element required in appreciation of evidence, in maintaining or reversing a conviction, and sometimes peeping into the importance of fair application of evidentiary principles are so clearly visible in these opinions. The opinion in Nahar Singh v. State of UP, which concerned the power of the magistrate to summon a person not noticed in the police report, the bench comprising of Justice Bose elegantly captures the importance of fusing together the materials before the court and not being bound only with the story presented to the court. What a great way of looking at liberty. The casual and cursory manner of recording of statements of the accused under Section 313 CRPC came under scanner in Sadbir Singh v. State of Haryana. And the court felt the necessity of underscoring the importance of exercise in unraveling some invisible facets of a case. No doubt, coming from West Bengal, making a statement about the performance accountability of public sectors may not be uncommon. But in Northwestern Railway versus Sanjay Shukla, the bench perceptibly connected competition and accountability. Balancing rights and duties in the constitutional sphere is a challenging task. Only when rights are taken seriously and we realize that the rights belong to us all in equal regard framework, we would have developed an account of responsibility. In Amit Sani versus Commissioner of Police, the Shaheen Bhagat protest matter, the bench comprising Justice Bose, and he addressed 2 conceptions of responsibility. Responsibility as autonomy or self-government, and responsibility as accountability to the community. Only by pursuing ordered liberty, as we understand from these opinions, do we meaningfully pursue our paths to happiness. a humanist at heart, and a wide reader by mind. I suppose these are the elements that have shaped the judicial mind of Justice Aniruddha Bose. Today, the bench, comprising of Justice Bose and Justice Sanjay Kumar, have saved the political career of an MLA from Arunachal Pradesh. And they said, the right to know about a candidate does not extend to everything about the life of a candidate. Beautiful statement. Addressing the Supreme Court bar in October 2023, Justice Bose made some thoughtful observations. Talking about Donaghy versus Stevenson, he wondered whether a dead snail in a beer bottle needed to engage the House of Lords, and why not such profound legal ideas emanate from non-litigational discourses. When he talked about the expanding class of people who come to the Supreme Court, namely the estranged homemaker, the dismissed workman, the evicted agricultural tenant, etc., he reminds us of the oft-quoted observation of Justice Krishnaya, who talked about the bonded labor, the low-paid butcher, the candle maker, the tiller of the soil, etc. Anyone who reads Sri Aurobindo cannot but belong to a class of aspirants who are keen to transcend the mundane aspects of life and to gather the riches of creation. Justice Aniruddha Bose belonged to the class as I know him. Thoughts are well done and dialogues are well made, with the embrace of the mind in mode so gentle and ways so pleasing. Should he not say that Justice Aniruddha Bose has known all these so well and is their avid and natural practitioner? We hear that Justice Bose is about to take over the reins of the National Judicial Academy, Bhopal. If that is so, the Academy will be richer, and we should be happy about it, though at the cost of his post-retirement freedom. May I wish him, on behalf of the bar, in all respect profoundly.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. May I request Dr. Adhish Agrawala, President SCBA, to kindly deliver his address.
Honorable Dr. Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose, Judge Supreme Court of India, and other distinguished judges of Supreme Court of India, learned Attorney General for India, Mr. R. Venkatramani, learned Solicitor General for India, Mr. Tushar Mehta, learned Additional Solicitor Generals of India, including Mr. Vikramjit Banerjee, senior advocates, office bearers of our Supreme Court Bar Association and AWAR Association, officers of Registry of Supreme Court, including Secretary General Mr. Atul Kurhekar, distinguished media persons, brothers and sisters in the legal profession. Greetings to all for Chaitra Navratri, Hindu Navvars, Gudi Padwa, and Ugadi. We have gathered to say goodbye to a distinguished judge who will be demitting office on the 10th day of April this year. Justice Bose has had a vast judicial career spanning over 20 years, 14 years as a judge of Calcutta High Court, 9 months as Chief Justice of Jharkhand High Court, and 5 years as Judge of Supreme Court of India. These 20 years have seen Justice Bose contributing immensely to growth of the law and ensuring that the benefit of law reaches the common man. I will not repeat what Mr. Rohit Pandey already stated about his education and the field of practice, because the same I noted with comma and full stop. So I just agree. I have been noticing the style of judging of Justice Bose ever since he took over as judge of the Calcutta High Court, and I have observed that Justice Bose decides cases not only by his head but also by his heart. Justice Bose has authored 55 judgments and has been a part of 333 benches so far. Justice Bose has been instrumental in the appointment of Mr. Justice P.B. Varale as Supreme Court judge and other transfer of High Court judges, as he is the member of the Supreme Court Collegium since 25th December 2023. Justice Bose combined wisdom and foresight to give insights and help to bring in a number of changes. Justice Bose has always taken a stand for what he believes in. He also has the courage to push for his reformist views against all odds. All these qualities have made Justice Bose popular at the bar. Even as a lawyer, he had a fan following of a number of advocates. My Lord, Justice Bose, we sincerely thank you for your dedication to the nation and to the cause of justice. You have contributed to the life of the court in different capacities. The Supreme Court Bar Association wishes you the very best for the future. Justice Bose, your retirement does not end your long and illustrious career, and we will continue to seek guidance from the vast experience you have collected over the 39 years of association with the law. The Supreme Court lays down the law for the country, and it is important that its decisions can be understood by all citizens of the country. In this behalf, I wish to commend the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, for taking steps to have judgment translated in local languages for them to be understood by one and all. Thank you. Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose to kindly deliver his address.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, my sister and brother judges, learned Attorney General for India, learned Solicitor General of India, learned President of the Supreme Court Bar Association, and the members of the same association, learned Additional Solicitor Generals, I can see one of them, learned senior advocates, members of the bar and the members of the registry. For a judge to come to a bar association is in a way perpetual homecoming. So though we are in this auditorium, in a way it is a homecoming for me on the end of my career as a judge. And I start with a thank you for being here and my previous speakers for saying all these nice things about me. Okay, being a judge of the Supreme Court of India, no doubt, is the ultimate achievement in a career of a legal professional in India. It is also, in my view, the most challenging adjudicatory post in the world now. It is challenging because of the number of litigations we handle. It is challenging because of complexity of legal issues we invite for decisions. It is challenging because the legal innovations the legal community in our country is making, creating a new jurisprudence which is being emulated by other countries of the world. The English system shone for about 4 centuries between Edward Coke and Lord Denning. The US system sparkled with Chief Justice Marshall in Marbury Madison, but then had to wait for almost a century when Earl Warren took over as the Chief Justice. I can confidently say that focus has now shifted to our country. One of the Tagore Law lectures delivered by the celebrated US judge William Douglas was titled Marshal to Mukherjee, referring to Chief Justice Bijan Kumar Mukherjee. Now the courts of emerging countries are looking at our pronouncements in evolving their own system. But I must confess, when I sat on the chair of this court on 24th May 2019, it was with nervousness and anxiety. While in High Court, I knew my judgments would have been read by maximum 6 persons. The party who lost and his or her lawyer. The winning party never bothers to read the judgment. Then 2 or 3 judges of this court, if it's appealed against. Thus I was within a safe and comfort zone, assured that my judgment would remain hidden from the public gaze. But what we write here becomes the law of the land and has the potential of being read over 1,000 and more judges of the High Court, apart from lawyers and now the legal journalists. Each one comes with a unique comment, and at the end of in this website, those who do not know anything about law also make their comments about judgment. Everything you say stays recorded through audio and video system. Myself as a judge sometimes feel like a fish in an aquarium where one's every movement remains visible to the outside world in every sense of the word. Till today, again I must confess, I remain in permanent worry over the spellings, grammar, punctuations, and above all, harbor second thoughts about what I have written in the judgment. One of my home court's senior judges, he is no more, he came to this court. When asked about how did it feel to be a judge when he had been elevated to the High Court, he had responded jokingly, "Great. Whatever I say is law, whatever I write is English." Well, my worry remains on both these counts. But this initial nervousness gave way to a level of comfort as I got acclimatized to the ecosystem here. I found genuine friend and guide in every companion judge I sat with. Members of the bar at their adversarial best when the hearing goes on, at the end of it quietly accepted the judgment or orders after these were pronounced. It is also my realization that in 99% or more cases, though with my companion judges we have separately studied the file, the independent views taken almost matched every time. The Supreme Court of India is in a way the microcosm of modern India, and this kind of commonality of in thinking among its judges coming from different parts of the country is an evidence that all Indians are alike, and there is a thought process which is uniquely Indian. As regards the litigation profile, I found that no matter which state a particular litigation came from, the trials and tribulations, the worries and grievances, the problems of all Indians were alike in broad term. This again is a direct evidence of oneness of our country. Of course, profession has to progress with time, and so has the legal profession. When I joined as an advocate in 1985, an argument in a complex case being argued by a senior counsel used to unfold like an Indian classical composition, start with alap, jod, jhala, gat. I recall hearing Mr. Nariman, the legendary lawyer and senior counsel, who passed away unfortunately a few days back, arguing like an exponent of Indian classical music for over 20 days before the Calcutta High Court in a particular excise litigation. Though I was not briefed in that matter, like a magnet, he was a magnet. Like iron, dust iron, I used to reach that court every morning before he began his arguments. When I joined the bar, I was advised to go to whichever court Mr. Dipankar Prasad Gupta, erstwhile Solicitor General, went, and now Mr. Joydeep Gupta, good friend of mine, and his son is here. And his argument I always found pleasure to listen, as also that of Mr. Shomoraditya Pal, first junior of Mr. Gupta. But days have changed and arguments are advanced in more comprehensive manner, and this calls for greater attention of a judge hearing a case. We have short time to find out the arguments. Large part of thinking also has to be done by the judge today compared to his predecessors or her predecessors. Our jurisprudence has also matured, and it appears we don't find it necessary to refer to Salmon or Maxwell, that pale olive book of Salmon and the blue one of Maxwell. Still, I can recall on the table of any lawyer at any given time. In fact, I don't recall citing of any of these texts or the statutory interpretation in any of the cases argued before me. This is not to discount the quality of argument, but to recognize the maturity of jurisprudence of our country. The nature of litigation has also changed. In the early days of my career, I got inspired by Olga Tellis, S.P. Gupta, Bandhuva Mukti Morcha, Rural Litigation and Entitlement Kendra. Public interest litigation was a great innovation in my time. But on that also, sometimes I introspect that Olga Tellis was the journalist. She had filed a case for protection of squatters. And now we find so many cases where PIL is fined to evict the squatters. The manner of training of lawyers is also changing. With new technology, it is possible to self-train. But for that level, members of the bar need not go into that kind of chamber practice which was necessary in the early part of 80s. My late father, who was a senior counsel in Calcutta, was enrolled in the year 1949. The first day he went to his senior, he was shown 77 slim black volumes of a report called Indian Appeals. And his senior told him, first you read from 77 volume to volume 1, then you discuss with me. So that was the level of preparation a lawyer made before actually jumping into the water. My own father's advice to me was to read Holsworth's History of English Law to understand what law is. I consider myself fortunate that without completing 77 volumes of Indian Appeals and any volume of Holsworth, I could make it to the Supreme Court of India. The days of demitting office makes one a little bit nostalgic, as past events pertaining to one's career appear in mind, and they come in slides like a flashback. But my own experience in Calcutta, Ranchi for a short time, and in this court is that the profession of law is undergoing significant changes in India, and these changes are for the better. Large number of ladies, women are in the profession now, and we are also on the threshold of developing an independent gender jurisprudence. Possibly ours is the most advanced in the world now. In using technology in the field of adjudication, again, we are possibly the global leader now. In 2016, I recall I had heard a litigant from Ohio arguing his case through Skype. But now there are so many disruptions, buffering. But now, with new technology, we have this kind of distant arguments have become seamless, and we don't feel any disturbance. Our chief and the E-Committee has also made it possible to make such advanced innovations in the field of technology. I shall remain ever grateful to this institution, the Supreme Court of India, apart from for bringing me here, but also exposing me to so many facets of life and so many facets of our great country. And I thank my colleagues and the members of the bar equally for that reason. Thank you so much.
And I must say, Bose sir, your consistent ability to be humble and generous with every counsel in all matters was admirable. And your words have always been an inspiration to all practicing lawyers, and you have always been very kind to the members of the bar. Bose sir, आपके लिए मुश्किलों की डगर में सहारा बने आप, दुनिया के समंदर में किनारा बने आप, जा रहे हैं हमको एक रोशनी दिखा के, रहे हैं जहां भी एक मिसाल बने हैं आप. Now may I request Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, to kindly deliver his address.
Our very dear colleague, Honorable Justice Aniruddha Bose, my brother and sister judges, Mr. R. Venkatramani, Attorney General for India, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Solicitor General for India, Dr. Adish Agarwal, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, Mr. Sukumar Patijoshi, Vice President, President Manoj Mishra of the SCORA, and office bearers and members of SCBA and SCORA, ladies and gentlemen. To bid farewell to a colleague on the bench is a bittersweet task. The moment simultaneously serves as an occasion to look back at their historic tenure, but lament the void that they leave behind. Today marks yet another bittersweet moment. While bidding them farewell at retirement, we honor our colleagues for their work on the bench and for their abiding friendship. I have the honor of bidding a fond goodbye to my dear colleague, Justice Aniruddha Bose, as he demits office after serving the Supreme Court for close to 5 years, while dedicating this evening to recognizing his contributions. The contributions of Justice Bose to this court, the Calcutta High Court and the High Court of Jharkhand, have left an indelible mark on our legal landscape. For this, Aniruddha, the legal fraternity will forever be grateful. Now, for the next 30 seconds, for what I'm going to say, I'll beg pardon of the Bangla-knowing audience, particularly my dear brothers Aniruddha and Dipankar, and then of course Jaideep at the bar and so many others. Let me say this. Bichorpati Shri Aniruddha Bose, ekjon classical Bengali bhadralok. Tini shobobe ekjon bholo shrota. Tini shotikarer buddhijibi. Kokhono prokashe bichar karen na. Justice Bose Sahitya, Itihas, Rajniti, Linguistics, धर्म और दर्शनेर एकजन विशिष्ट पाठक বিচারপতি বোসের মধ্যযুগের ভক্তি মুভমেন্ট এর প্রভাব সম্পর্কে গভীর জ্ঞান এবং ধারণা আছে ভগবদ্গীতা এবং শ্রী শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ কথামিত্র ওনার খুবই প্রিয় বই লাস্টলি বাঙালি ভদ্রলোক হতে হলে অতি অবশ্যই धोती पंजाबी पढ़ते हुए और फूडी होते हुए जस्टिस बोस संपूर्ण क्वालिफाई करण दुत्वते Justice Aniruddha Bose is a classical Bengali Bhadralok. His disposition is that of a good listener and a true intellectual who never gets overtly judgmental, even when he is judging in the court. He is a voracious reader with an abiding interest in literature, history, politics, linguistics, and the impact of theological philosophies on the various world cultures and societies over the centuries. Justice Bose has an in-depth knowledge of the profound impact of the Bhakti movement in India during the Middle Ages and is a veritable authority on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At a very personal level, he has an abiding bond with the Bhagavad Gita and Sri Sri Ramakrishna Kathamitra. And of course, one cannot qualify as a true Bengali Bhadralok without a sartorial preference for the Dhuti Punjabi and without being a die-hard foodie. Justice Bose handsomely qualifies with respect to both. Justice Bose has not only been a stellar judge, but before being elevated to the Calcutta High Court in 2004, he was also an outstanding lawyer. He has the unique experience of working at an intellectual property law firm prior to his elevation to the bench, which gave him unique insights into the specialized field before commencing his journey as a judge. While practicing before the Calcutta High Court, Justice Bose handled a diverse array of cases, both constitutional and civil, with an emphasis on intellectual property. He practiced on both the original and the appellate sides of the High Court, a wide spectrum of experiences that is evident in his versatility as a judge. Aniruddha can grapple with a complex set of facts in high-stake commercial and civil disputes as effectively as he can adjudicate significant questions of public law and personal liberty. I should know better the number of requests I have got in the last 1 week for listing all the pending cases before him that belong to his bench. In many ways, nearly 2 decades of experience at the bar explains his ability to empathize and credit members of the bar for their contributions to the judiciary. Recently, while addressing the members of the Supreme Court Bar Association, Justice Bose spoke about the metaphorical umbilical cord that a judge has with the bar. He made an interesting observation about how, although our legal system may be adversarial between the parties to the dispute, the relationship between the bar and the bench is collaborative. Justice Bose graciously admitted that while judges get credit for their judgments, they heavily rely on the assistance provided by members of the bar. I must, of course, add here that it is only because of the patience and encouragement extended by judges like Justice Bose that our Supreme Court bar can navigate complex questions of law and construct creative arguments. Just like a judge cannot do without an erudite and diligent bar, the bar too needs empathetic and accommodating judges like Justice Bose to truly flourish. Justice Bose has been a trailblazer in modernizing the judiciary, advocating for a technology-friendly judiciary throughout his career. As a judge of the Supreme Court, he swiftly embraced new technology, seamlessly transitioning to hybrid hearings and digital files. Notably, as a judge of the Calcutta High Court, Justice Bose was one of the earliest proponents of using video conferencing to ensure access to justice and greater courtroom transparency. Back in 2012, Justice Bose, sitting as a single judge of the Calcutta High Court, allowed a litigant from the United States to appear on a video conferencing platform in a case pertaining to medical negligence. Similarly, in 2015, Justice Bose allowed for the proceedings in a case before his court to be video and audio recorded in certain exceptional circumstances to ensure transparency in the proceedings. Justice Bose's adeptness in leveraging technology to increase access is a testament to the fact that there is no age barrier to adopting technology. All one requires is good intent and a willingness to embrace change. During his tenure at the Supreme Court, Justice Bose has been an integral part of landmark decisions on issues of public interest such as data privacy, the independence of the Election Commission, animal rights, and affirmative action. He authored several decisions on criminal law, including interpretative questions about special statutes such as the Prevention of Corruption Act and the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Significantly, Justice Bose has always kept civil liberties at the forefront of his decision-making, while adjudicating cases concerning the grant of bail and incarceration. Justice Bose was a part of the bench in Union of India versus K.A. Najib in 2021, where our court recognized that prolonged pre-trial incarceration violates Article 21 and can be a ground for a constitutional court to grant bail despite the presence of rigorous statutory provisions. In Narayan Chetanram Chaudhary versus State of Maharashtra in 2023, Justice Bose set aside the death penalty imposed on a man in prison for 28 years, observing that he was a juvenile on the date of the commission of the offense. The court held that while determining the age of the accused or convict on his plea of juvenility, a decision must not be taken solely for the reason that the offense is heinous or grave. In addition to the contributions to criminal law made by him, Justice Bose has also made the court richer with precedents in service law, arbitration, and commercial law. For judges, particularly those as hardworking and meticulous as Justice Bose, retirement signifies the end of their tenure and the duties they have performed with utmost dedication. However, it also brings with it the silver lining of finally having more time for himself, for those loved ones, for leisure, and the simple pleasures of life. On a lighter note, Aniruddha, as you retire from the Supreme Court, I hope that you finally find time for more enjoyable hearings of your favorite movies and songs, and perhaps even preside over family dinners where the only arguments are about what to eat for dessert or better skill over the preparation of betki or tolsosh sandesh. As this towering figure from Kolkata demits office at the Supreme Court, it would be apt to quote a famous Bengali song that symbolizes the emotions that the bench and the bar share today for you. The song from the classic Bengali film Saptapadi was sung by the iconic Hemanta Mukherjee in 1961. It is titled Ipot Jodi Nasesh Hoye Tobe Kemon Hoto Tumi Boloto, which translates to, if this journey never ends, then tell me, how would it be? Indeed, while Justice Bose's tenure may come to an end, the journey will never end. Every time we have the privilege of relying on the pithy and precise precedents authored by Justice Bose, we will fondly remember his ever-smiling and encouraging face as he sat on the bench. There is a lot to be said about judges like Justice Aniruddha Bose, who prefer to remain far away from the limelight. His love and expertise with respect to intellectual property laws was little known until I shared it with you. His ideological moorings are towards the politics of democratic discourse and a thrust towards equitable distribution of resources. Son of late Somen Bose, a legal luminary of the Calcutta High Court, Justice Bose's brother Prabuddha and sister Pompey are practicing lawyers in Kolkata. Justice Bose lost his wife Madhumita, a reputed business journalist, to a terminal disease. I share with him the sense of loss, having gone through such a tragedy myself. After that intense personal tragedy, he single-handedly looked after his daughter Manjurika and son Anish, now writer and a scientist. All this while uncompromisingly discharging his judicial duties as a judge of the Calcutta High Court and thereafter as the Chief Justice of the Jharkhand High Court. Aniruddha, as we all know, has a keen interest in the teaching of the law and had our unanimous vote to helm the National Judicial Academy at Bhopal as director, which I am sure he will lead with greater heights in the coming year. Justice Bose's favorite songs, Jamaican Farewell, Guantanamara, his favorite plays, Vijay Tendulkar's Kanyadan, Mahesh Eklunswar's Party, and Lust for Life by Irving Stone, and Dylan Thomas's Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night, shows the eclecticism in his reading and listening. For me personally, he would always share an article in The Economist worth sharing, and a book on grammar and more. I thought that was a reminder that my grammar also needed tightening up. In the frenetic pace of our lives, Justice Bose inspires us to pause and rejuvenate our minds in books, poetry, and music. We have learned a lot from the quiet resolve of Justice Aniruddha Bose, and I bid him farewell in the lines of Walt Whitman, his favorite poet. Let your soul stand cool and composed before a million universes. Fare thee well, Aniruddha. Wish you health, happiness, and fulfillment for all times to come. It was truly an honor to serve on the Supreme Court as your colleague, Justice Bose. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, sir. Sir, your judicious wisdom and unwavering dedication have enlightened the path of justice and enriching the legal landscape of our nation. Now may I request Dr. Adhish Agrawala, President SCBA, and senior members of the Executive Committee, Mr. Arjit Prasad, Mr. Jayant Bhushan, sir, Mr. Ranjit Thomas, Mr. Dinesh Goswami, Mr. Narendra Hooda, Mr. Wasim Kadri to present a memento on behalf of the bar, Honorable Mr. Justice Aniruddha Bose. May I request Mr. Minesh Dubey, Joint Secretary, SCBA, to deliver vote of thanks.
Firstly, we are thankful to Honorable Chief Justice of India for accepting our request to centralize air condition of the common area of additional building chamber block. Please give a round of applause. Thank you, sir. And I thank to all of you for joining, for gracing the occasion. And I would like to request EC members to come on dais for photograph. Sir, sort kar diya Chief Sahab ne. I request all of you to kindly join us for high tea. अभी रुक जाओ, जजेस को जान लो, अभी बोलना कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगा.